Okay guys, well obviously you've recently had a crash. Let's have a little chat about what might have happened in the circumstance. I mean, how fast were you going when it happened, Billy?
I don't know, I think I was doing about 30.
About 30. I mean, Molly, you came off as well. What do you think you were doing in terms of
I was
speed?
going quite slowly because it was obviously a narrow road, and as soon as I saw Billy, I had to swerve. So.
But you weren't able to stop at the time, were you?
No.
Well, what we'll talk about now is how far you would slide. I mean, at 30 miles an hour, you would expect to slide for about 10 metres along the road. So we'll measure that out. Got some kit that we can do that, and we'll talk about how long your kit lasted. I mean, did your jeans wear through, Billy?
On the back, yeah.
Have you still got the marks to prove it, have you?
Yeah.
Some war wounds and scars to still painful?
A little bit.
And how about your hands? Have those healed up now, Molly?
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about suitable gloves and other things while we walk through this, if that's all right. So if we have a look at the kit that we've got, what we're going to do is we're going to measure out 10 metres. So, Jason, if you'd like to mark this out for me, we've got a little meter here. You can have a look, you can see where you're going. I want you to keep going until you get to the 10 metre point and then stop, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Because if you've come off at 30 miles an hour, we're going to be sliding for close to 10 metres. The speed you're riding around town, that doesn't feel particularly fast when you're riding around town. If you come off, and providing you don't hit anything, that's where you're going to stop if you start here. Okay, so you can see how far away Jason is there. If we go and mark that out, the problem is, if you're only wearing a pair of jeans, you're going to wear through those in about 5 feet. So we've started sliding there, and we'll have got to just about where Kay is here. It's probably generous. That's how long it'll take to wear through a pair of jeans. And obviously you're on your moped today, aren't you? And you're still wearing the jeans. So just thinking, if you're riding through town at 30 miles an hour, that's how long it'll take. And once we get beyond that point, what are we down to for protection? Skin. So from here to Jason, how much skin have you got and how thick is it? It's actually quite tough. I mean, it'll take another kind of, really, 5 or 6 feet to get through the outer layers of the epidermis and down into the fleshy bits underneath. But so we've gone from Sophie to here, and we've just worn through our jeans and our skin. We've still got to keep going to Jason. What's next? Well, we've got muscle, haven't we? We've got all the things that are useful to us. So we're going to wear through those before we get to the bone. We might well have our elbows or our hands down at this point, so we're down to the bone. And we've got to work out how much of that we're going to wear through and how much of the bone we're going to actually end up grinding away before we come to a stop. So if we're wearing appropriate kit, leather will allow you to slide down the road if you've come off at over 100 miles an hour. That's why racers wear leather kit. I mean, a pair of gloves like this, you can put your hands down. The reason that they're on tight and the reason why they have extra straps around the wrist is that they can't be pulled off. So if you're sliding down the road, the glove will not fall off. And if your hands are down, the palm, which is the protective bit, because your hands will be down, you'll be able to slide to there without wearing through that leather, so your hands are never going to be touched. So you wouldn't end up with the injuries that you'd had, Molly.
Yeah.
And if you'd been wearing leather trousers or Kevlar or a suitable protective kit, it would have prevented the injuries that you've got, Billy. I mean, is it still sore? Still painful? Comfortable to sit down?
Depends what you're sitting on.
Right. Okay, if we also measure out some stopping distances, we'll have a little chat about actually how far it takes for us to stop a moped when we're travelling at 30 miles an hour. Okay guys, so we were going to talk a little bit about stopping distances. The Highway Code has a fairly accurate guide to how long it takes for a vehicle to stop. And although brakes and tyres have got better, the unfortunate fact is that physics means there is a limit to how long you can actually stop a vehicle, because you've got a significant amount of weight moving forwards. And well, what we're going to do is we've just measured out how long you'd slide for. Just want an idea of at 30 miles an hour. Sophie, if you want to take that cone, at 30 miles an hour, whereabouts do you think you would stop? If you put the brakes on as hard as you could, emergency stop,
About there.
round about there. Now this is thinking distance and braking distance, all right? So you reckon about there. Anybody think closer? You reckon a bit closer?
I'd say closer.
You'd say closer. Anybody think further?
Be a bit further.
A bit further. Well, what we'll do, Molly, if you want to take the trunner wheel, I want you to, you're looking for, that one will tell you how many metres you're at, and that's your point metres. I want you to go 9 metres. Okay, That's how long it would take you to even get on the brakes. That's your thinking distance at 30 miles an hour. So now you've got there and you put the brakes on. Do you maybe want to change where you've put the cone, Sophie?
Is it like 10 metres from there?
Might be. Braking as hard as you can. Okay, so Molly, I'd like you to now go another 14 metres. 14 metres. Keep going. She's gone off at an angle, but that's what you'd be doing if you were braking hard and trying not to have a crash. Is that 23 metres, Molly?
Yes.
Exactly. So that's actually how long it takes you to react and stop at 30 miles an hour.
That's ages.
From where Jason is to where Molly is.
That's ages.
So that speed that we think is quite slow, 30 miles an hour, that's how long it will take you to stop. We're talking about 30 miles an hour and saying it feels quite slow when you're travelling at 30 miles an hour. You don't want to jump off there dressed as you are now.
Not really.
If I gave you a decent motorcycle helmet and a load of motorcycle gear, have a quick look, would you want to jump off then?
No.
No. But actually, if you were on your moped and you rode off there, you'll be doing about 30 miles an hour when you hit the ground. Okay?
Yeah.
Does it put it in perspective that 30 miles an hour is maybe a little bit quicker than we thought?
Yeah.
Because if you're doing 30 miles an hour and you hit something solid, that's what it's going to feel like. Yeah? Should we get down off the roof?
Yeah.
I think so. Let's have a little look at what damage we might be doing to a helmet. Guys, if you want to come and stand a little bit over this way. All right. So, Sophie, if you want to stand with the guys. Now, it's a perfectly reasonable motorcycle helmet. And one of your friends says it's never been dropped, or you've bought it off eBay, but you don't know. I mean, there's a few scratches on the paintwork and everything else. But there's no proof from the outside that it hasn't been in an accident. And what you want to know is, what happens if you hit your head? If you come and have a look now, that's only one hit with a sledgehammer, and you can see where the paint's flaked off and where the paint's broken. Yeah? Okay? Now we're quite lucky because we've got all the paint to flake off this one, but you'll often find with a motorcycle helmet that it does very little damage to the outside. The brittle paint tells us it's quite old, but you can see the fractures in the polystyrene underneath. This helmet's done its job, but if you tried it on your head, it'd fit fine and you wouldn't know anything about it. Okay? Sometimes you can hit them and the outside won't split, and you have no idea what's happened to that helmet underneath. Here we can see what the damage is. It's only designed to take one significant impact. Come and have another look.
Oh my god.
So now you can see how much more damage, because it's already taken one hit, how much more damage that's taken. Yeah? That second one has done all of that. And yet, apart from the foam padding inside, internally, what it's done is it's split. You can see the polystyrene, it's completely split the inside of the helmet. So that's come out.
Right.
There's no protection for the crown of the head. And if you have a look, you can see where the splits have come through. It's that second hit that's done most of the damage. The first hit, the polystyrene was splitting, but it took the impact. The second hit, all the way through. All right? So it's just bearing in mind, if anybody offers you a second-hand helmet, you have no idea what's happened underneath the skin of it. All right? So look after your helmet, because a drop from anywhere above waist height is considered a significant drop for a motorcycle helmet. And it may have done its job and all of the polystyrene's compressed. All right? Okay, guys, so, well, thanks for coming along today. I hope you found it useful. And I hope there's something you've taken away from it. You know, look after yourselves on your moped. I'd hope to think that you can have the helmet as a souvenir. You're welcome. If I just advise you not to wear it out on the road, given everything we've learned today. All right? Okay? Take care, guys. See you soon.
Bye. Bye.